Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for selecting me as the Graduate of the Year. I was extremely delighted, excited, grateful and honoured when Jim called me and told me I'd been selected as this year's graduate. My name is Isabella Rosati and I'm 23 years old. I grew up in Bayview on the Northern Beaches and I'm one of 4 children. I was born for family death, but I wasn't diagnosed until I was 2.5 years old. Apparently, I was a cranky, willful baby who screamed a lot and always threw major tantrums to get what I wanted. Some might argue that I haven't changed in that regard. It wasn't until after many doctor's appointments that they finally found out what was wrong with me. That was a very scary moment for my parents, as they had no idea what to do, and all they could see in front of them was that I wasn't going to be like a normal hearing person. That started to change when Mum met the amazing Anne Fulcher at a party before she knew I was deaf. Mum called her and I started my journey with the Shepherd Centre. Anne assured Mum that everything was going to be okay, which is the most important thing that any parent wants to hear and believe. And now looking back on it, everything was okay. It certainly was the best decision my parents have ever made. I didn't really learn to speak until I was 5, but thanks to the advanced speech therapy and training at the Shepherd Centre, I was able to catch up with my hearing peers. I have mixed memories of spending what felt like never-ending hours on one-on-one exercise and speech therapy. I hated it. It was exhausting and certainly not my idea of fun, but I have to say now that I'm very glad I was forced to do it. I'm so thankful for the staff for putting up with me. They always remained patient, supportive, encouraging and positive, which made my whole experience worthwhile. After years of intensive therapy and with 2 hearing aids, I was able to attend a mainstream school. This was an extremely important milestone for both my family and I. The Shepherd Centre were amazing with my transition to school. They helped me feel safe and well prepared for the transition. I was guided and reassured every step of the way, and it was great knowing that I was able to communicate in a hearing world, let alone attend a mainstream school. I don't know where I would be without their professionalism. Unlike many kids, I loved school. Everyone was so supportive and I was very well looked after. I was never treated differently, and that's something I can't stand. I couldn't ask for anything more than to fit in. I always made sure I got involved in everything at school, especially sport. I was house captain in primary school and I was the vice captain of the athletic club in high school. I represented my school in various state and national events in sport and dance. So school for me was fantastic. I know I will always firmly believe that I would not be able to attend regular school if it wasn't for the time invested in me by the Shepherd Centre. I came back to the Shepherd Centre when I was 11, receiving my first cochlear implant in New Zealand. I was extremely reluctant and nervous as I thought it was amazing to be blessed with 2 hearing aids that enabled me to hear. I treated them like my best friend. However, we made the decision to be implanted after my family and I found out that my hearing was getting worse, to such an extent that my school and social interactions were affected. It was an agonising and emotional time. Soon after, we became aware of many success stories about deaf people who had received cochlear implant. My wonderful doctor, Dr. Shane, informed me that I was the perfect candidate, so we thought we would give it a go. The pain was excruciating. I was in pain and Mum was in pain knowing my discomfort, but I knew in the end it would be worth it. It was a very hard adjustment to learn how to listen again using this new advice, and I often took my implant off when my parents weren't looking and wore my hearing aids instead. Adapting to new sounds was very tiring, but after 6 months I started making great progress. I heard sounds I'd never heard with my hearing aid. I heard sounds like the car indicator, cicadas, and even the sound of my own footsteps. I also noticed a huge improvement in my speech. I received my second implant in Year 12. Again, I was reluctant, having grown used to the 1 implant. But Mum gave me some encouraging advice, something along the lines of, "This is not negotiable, Bella." She's full of good advice like that. I can't express to you how much both implants have completely changed my life for the better. So yes, I'm very grateful for my parents' encouragement and for giving me the opportunity to receive such an amazing gift and for the wonderful support of the therapists at the Shepherd Centre. After school, I went to university where I studied sports management at the International College of Management in Sydney. This was a very challenging degree for me and probably the hardest 3.5 years of my life. The level of hardship meant that I often wanted to give up, but I'm proud to say with the help of my amazing lecturers and family, I gave it my all, and it was so worth it. I graduated with an associate degree in sports management and a Bachelor of Business in October last year. I then took off some time after uni and went travelling with 3 of my best friends from school. I went through Europe, which was probably one of the most amazing experiences of my life. Then went on to Bali, New Zealand and Aspen. I love travelling and had so much fun, but my main goal for this year was to find a full-time job. My proudest achievement to date would be getting my first full-time job after university. I worked as casual sales assistant at the Athlete Foot while I was at uni, but all I wanted to do was work for a sports organisation. After months of interview, disappointment and endless tears after constantly getting turned down, I'm proud to say I was successful in securing a job 6 weeks ago. I work for Macquarie University Aquatic Centre and I'm the swim school team leader. So my main role was to manage 63 of the casual staff there. I never thought this would be possible, as I believe that being deaf was always going to hold me back in some way. Most jobs require high communication skills, including speaking on the telephone, and this is something I definitely struggle with. However, I'm slowly becoming more confident with all my communication, using the phone and even being before you all today. I'm very happy to share with you all that my hard work has paid off. The Shepherd Centre to me means that being deaf doesn't stop you from living a normal life and achieving your dream. My Shepherd Centre experience has made a huge difference to my life. All the remarkable staff are extremely successful and role model. Their incredible knowledge and optimistic attitude remind me that life is too short to not accept yourself for who you are and not stand up for what you believe in. I have learnt that life is full of challenges, but also opportunities, and therefore I embrace my deafness, and I treat it as an opportunity, not a disadvantage. I recommend you embrace it and get involved in everything. The more people you tell about being deaf, the more people will listen. So to the parents and relatives here today of the children graduating this year, the best advice I can give you would be that you are all better prepared than you realise, and you'll be just fine. The Shepherd Centre is there with you every step of the way and will guide you and ensure you that you and your child are set up for the best life. Finally, I was asked today to also talk about my hopes and dreams for the future. I've now come to realise that my hopes and dreams are closely aligned to those my parents had for me 20 years ago, at 2.5 when I was first diagnosed. And that was to fit in, to be a good person, to have all the rightful opportunities of any young person, a normal active life, a career, happiness and loving family and friends. Well, I'm here and I have all those things. I also know without the commitment and the belief of my family and the Shepherd Centre, I wouldn't be standing here today and I wouldn't be the person I am today. Thank you for listening.